Welcome to another session of personal finance training. Today we'll be looking at, is the cup half full or half empty? This is presented by accounting lecturer. Our aim in this session is to get a better analysis of the concept of the cup being half full or half empty. Our objectives: the challenge of the lockdown for a household, the positives of the lockdown for households, the government support for households, what are the options for households, and then we will conclude. Let's look at the challenge of the lockdown for a household. Staying in a confined space for long periods, being online for long periods, eating more than usual, lack of exercise, fear of going outside due to the virus. Now let's look at the challenge of the lockdown for a household viewed as half empty. When viewed as half empty or in the negative, staying in a confined space for long periods will cause one to have health-related challenge or mental health-related issues as well. Being online for long periods, again, that could also cause health-related challenge, mental health, if one would actually consider. Lack of exercise, also again health-related challenge, not able to circulate, the blood not circulating as well, and therefore that creates issues. Eating more than usual, again gaining weight, therefore your clothes not going to fit, and then that also creates health-related challenge. Fear of going outside due to the virus, again creating anxiety, and you do not want to have that at this time. You want to have a situation where you are reducing the anxiety levels. So half empty, it will cause a bit of anxiety. The positive of the lockdown for households, then the first one we can consider is sleeping or resting more, the opportunity to create an online business, working from home for some who can, lots of thinking time to plan one's future, and the opportunity to learn a new technology. So these are some of the positives. Now let's look at the positives in terms of it being half full. So sleeping more, again, we can see that if you sleep more, you rest, your body rejuvenates, and therefore we can almost consider this to be a sabbatical rest, as the Jews would put it. And so therefore that's very helpful for your body and your health and well-being. The opportunity to create an online business, this will allow you to have another stream of income, which is a positive, and therefore it should be encouraged. Working from home for some who can. Some people are able to work from home, so they are able to use computer and various technology to communicate with other members of staff, and so therefore that allows for an alternative to traveling through the hustle and bustle into London or various places in the UK or even in the world. Lots of thinking time to plan one's future. This lockdown presents this opportunity. You're able to reflect, able to take some time to think of what it is that you can do moving forward with your life. The opportunity to learn a new technology. We have Zoom and WhatsApp and various technologies being used now to communicate with family members, friends and colleagues all over the world, and therefore that presents an opportunity. In terms of the government support for a household, the payment of salaries up to $2,500. So that's quite helpful from the personal finance perspective. That will improve. It's a challenge for those who actually make more than this, and that could be a struggle because then they will need to use savings in order to survive as opposed to having a salary as they would have. Self-employed getting up to $2,500. Again, that's quite helpful. The challenge though is that some people who are self-employed may not necessarily meet the criteria because the system does not accommodate all variants of self-employment, and so therefore that would be a loss for some people who are in this category, and also some people who are in the process of getting a job and lost it due to COVID-19. They will also not benefit from the $2,500, so they may need to go to government support via the social services, and therefore that in itself has its challenges. In terms of the small business, there's a small business loan of $50,000. no interest for 12 months. This is provided by the government, and it will help small businesses. And if you are small businesses, small business with which is your main job, and as a self-employed person, this will alleviate the financial strain, and so that will be a positive. Testing for health professionals across all patient healthcare sectors. This is helpful, allowing for tracing and tracking of the virus. I think it needs to be extended to other members of the public, but I think it's a challenge at the moment. But once this is implemented, it allows for safeguarding the members of the public, especially the most vulnerable, like the elderly. Delay payment for taxes. So that's a positive from the government. For those who are self-employed, PAYE, and businesses, it allows for time lag for the payment of your filing of your various returns, and that is a positive, and it will help you in terms of personal finance. I mean, you can hold the taxes a little bit longer, though there are not many instruments that you can use to actually get a yield, but you can hold it a bit and maybe pay at a later date. What are the options for households? Look for jobs in growth industries with demand regardless of the shutdown. So some industries are growing even in the shutdown, and places like Amazon, places like supermarkets, and various businesses are thriving at this time while others are losing. Look for deals online to maximize one's income. So you're not going to necessarily look for the cheapest, but you're going to look for the best, that you can stretch funds so that you can maximize what you get with the very little you have. Research what government support you can get. Some people may not be able to navigate the system and may need to get help from professionals in terms of what support the government provides. Plan for the future when the new normal occurs, because life is never going to be the same, and so therefore one would need to adjust to that and implement the various things currently to allow for that transition into the new normal. Buy protective equipment and also use home remedies. So yes, face masks would be the thing, and home remedies like using garlic and ginger and lime and whatever it is that you feel or you've researched would be helpful. It's also recommended that you use the various medical related solutions that the government and other healthcare professionals have provided, but you can also research home remedies as well. In conclusion, the challenge of the lockdown, yes, the lockdown presents challenge, but it also presents opportunities. It's the government is supporting households, and we should look for the various ways it has been helping. And we also need to consider what are the options for households. There are lots of options. If one looks carefully, one can actually find them. And thus we conclude. I hope this information is helpful. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.